Hey everyone, and welcome to Classic Crime Stories. Today, we're diving into the murky world of assassination and political intrigue with the story of Mahatma Gandhi. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, the great soul, led India to independence through nonviolence. But his journey for peace ended abruptly in 1948, not with a bang, but with 3 gunshots. Was it a simple act of a lone fanatic, or was there a deeper conspiracy at play? We'll delve into the investigation, the hidden clues, and the shocking truth that emerged years later. So, grab a cup of chai, settle in, and get ready for a story that goes beyond the headlines. The humid air clung to Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, now known throughout the world as Mahatma, the great soul, as he stepped out of Birla House on that fateful January morning in 1948. India, his beloved nation, had just achieved independence after decades of struggle, a struggle he had led with an unwavering commitment to satyagraha, the philosophy of truth, force, and nonviolent resistance. But beneath the surface of celebration, a disquiet simmered. Gandhi, at 78, was a frail figure, his white dhoti a stark contrast against the blood-red dawn. He was on his way to his daily prayer meeting, a ritual as constant as the sun itself. As he walked, flanked by his grandnieces Abba and Manu, a young man clad in a white dhoti approached, his face etched with a fanatic's zeal. Natharam Godse, a Hindu nationalist enraged by Gandhi's tolerance towards Muslims, whipped out a pistol and fired 3 shots into Gandhi's chest. The peaceful morning prayer meeting erupted into chaos. Gandhi crumpled to the ground, his white dhoti blossoming with crimson. He was rushed inside, but it was too late. The man who had brought an empire to its knees with nonviolence was silenced by a single act of hate. The news of Gandhi's assassination sent shockwaves through India and the world. But for Inspector Veer Singh of the Delhi police, a wiry man with a hawk-like gaze, this was more than a national tragedy. It was a crime scene demanding investigation. Veer, a man who believed in the power of reason and deduction, found himself drawn into a web of intrigue that threatened to unravel the fragile peace of a newborn nation. The official investigation concluded quickly. Godse, a known Hindu extremist, confessed to the crime. He claimed to be acting alone, driven by his hatred for Gandhi's appeasement policies. The case was closed, a convenient narrative for a nation desperate for closure. But for Veer, something didn't sit right. There were inconsistencies. Godse, a mediocre marksman, had managed to fire 3 shots in quick succession, all hitting their target. The murder weapon, a Beretta M1934 pistol, was a rare find in India, suggesting a well-funded operation. And perhaps most importantly, the extremist group Godse belonged to seemed strangely quiet, offering no support or condemnation. Veer suspected they were simply pawns in a larger game. His investigation took him down a labyrinthine path. He delved into the murky world of Hindu nationalism, where extremist groups saw Gandhi as a threat to their vision of a Hindu-dominated India. He interviewed disgruntled former British officials, some of whom harbored resentment towards Gandhi and the new Indian government. He even explored the possibility of a Muslim conspiracy, some extremists viewing Gandhi's tolerance as a betrayal. As Veer dug deeper, he uncovered a network of whispers and veiled threats. He learned of secret meetings between Hindu nationalists and disgruntled British officials, discussions that hinted at a plot to remove Gandhi from the political scene. He discovered a hidden cache of weapons, including Beretta pistols similar to the murder weapon, stashed away by a radical Hindu group. But the deeper he went, the more powerful forces he seemed to disturb. Threats started to appear, anonymous letters warning him to back off. His superiors, eager to maintain national unity, pressured him to wrap up the case and accept the official narrative. Veer, however, refused to be cowed. He believed that justice, even in a time of national mourning, demanded the truth. His investigation took a dangerous turn when he discovered a coded message hidden within a seemingly innocuous newspaper advertisement. The message pointed towards a meeting between a high-ranking British official and a prominent Hindu nationalist leader, scheduled to take place on the outskirts of Delhi. Veer believed this could be the key to unraveling the conspiracy. He staked out the meeting place, a dilapidated colonial bungalow shrouded in overgrown foliage. As night fell, he witnessed a heated exchange between the two men. The Briton, his face obscured by shadows, handed over a small package to the Hindu leader. Veer couldn't hear the conversation, but the tension in the air was palpable. Suddenly, headlights sliced through the darkness. A car screeched to a halt, its occupants spotting Veer. He was forced to flee, narrowly escaping capture. Back at his office, he pieced together the events. The package, he suspected, contained money or even more weapons to fuel extremist activities. But before he could act on this new information, tragedy struck. Veer was found dead in his apartment, an empty vial of poison lying beside him. The official narrative declared it a suicide, a result of the immense pressure and stress of the investigation. But for those who knew Veer, his meticulous nature and unwavering dedication to justice made suicide seem implausible. Enter Maya, a young journalist with fiery independence and a nose for a story. She had been following Gandhi's movement for years, captivated by his philosophy of nonviolence. The news of his assassination had left her devastated, and the subsequent closure of the case felt like a betrayal. When she learned of Veer's suspicious death, her reporter's instincts kicked in. Driven by a sense of duty and a yearning for the truth, Maya started digging. She met with Veer's colleagues, piecing together the details of his investigation. She learned about the inconsistencies, the hidden threats, and the coded message. Intrigued, she decided to follow the same lead. Using her connections in the media, Maya managed to obtain a copy of the newspaper with the coded message. With the help of a linguistics professor, she cracked the code, revealing the location on the outskirts of Delhi, the same location where Veer had witnessed the clandestine meeting. Determined to uncover the truth, Maya ventured out to the dilapidated bungalow. The place was deserted, but a faint trail of cigarette smoke lingered in the air. She spotted a discarded cigarette butt and pocketed it as potential evidence. Back at her apartment, Maya examined the cigarette butt. Using her contacts in the underworld, she managed to get it traced back to a notorious smuggler known for his connections with Hindu nationalist groups. This was a significant lead, a potential bridge between the extremist groups and the shadowy figures Veer had encountered. Following this trail, Maya infiltrated a secret gathering of Hindu nationalists. Undercover, she witnessed them discussing the removal of Gandhi, their frustration evident at the failure of Godse's lone wolf assassination attempt. She also learned about the financial backing they were receiving from an unknown source. Maya knew she had stumbled upon something explosive. But escaping the gathering without being noticed was a challenge. Thankfully, a commotion outside provided the perfect distraction. A police raid, seemingly unrelated, created a diversion, allowing Maya to slip away unnoticed. Back in the safety of her apartment, Maya reviewed the information she had gathered. Veer's investigation, her own findings, and the cryptic meeting all pointed towards a larger conspiracy. But who was pulling the strings? The British official from Veer's observation and the unknown financial backers of the Hindu nationalists remained elusive figures. Suddenly, a memory sparked in Maya's mind. During her journalistic coverage of Gandhi's movement, she had interviewed a disgruntled former British official, a man known for his animosity towards Gandhi's ideals. Could he be the connection? Desperate for answers, Maya decided to confront the former official. She arranged a meeting, posing as a potential supporter of his anti-Gandhi views. The man, flattered by her supposed allegiance, began to boast. He spoke of his connections with certain elements within the Hindu nationalist movement, hinting at a covert operation to destabilize the newly independent India. As Maya listened, her suspicions grew. She subtly steered the conversation towards the Gandhi assassination, feigning ignorance about the details. The man, emboldened by her apparent naivety, revealed his knowledge of the mishap, boasting that it was a necessary evil to prevent Gandhi's appeasement of Muslims. But his self-congratulatory monologue was cut short. The door burst open, and Inspector Raj Singh, a colleague of Veer's known for his integrity, entered the room. He had been following Maya's investigation discreetly, impressed by her courage and tenacity. Together, they apprehended the former official. The arrest of the disgruntled British official sent shockwaves through the political establishment. The investigation that Veer had started, seemingly buried with his death, was reopened. With Maya's crucial evidence and Raj Singh's unwavering support, the authorities began to unravel the conspiracy. The coded message, the cigarette butt, and the incriminating conversation all formed a chain of evidence leading to the network of Hindu nationalists and their financial backers. Further investigation revealed that some of these backers were wealthy Indian industrialists who feared Gandhi's socialist leanings and his vision of an inclusive India. The case went to trial, a spectacle that captivated the nation. The former British official, exposed and stripped of his influence, confessed to his role in the conspiracy. Several Hindu nationalists and industrialists were also implicated. The trial exposed the web of deceit and hatred that had led to Gandhi's assassination, a stark contrast to the message of peace and unity he preached. In the end, justice, though delayed, was served. The perpetrators of the conspiracy were brought to book, their motives laid bare for the world to see. However, the trial left a bitter aftertaste. The truth, though unearthed, couldn't erase the loss. India mourned anew, not just for Gandhi, but for the ideals he represented, ideals that seemed fragile in the face of such calculated violence. For Maya, the emotional toll was immense. She had become an unwilling participant in a deadly game, a game that had cost Veer his life. Yet, she found solace in the knowledge that she had honored his memory, ensuring that his pursuit of truth wasn't buried with him. Raj Singh, deeply affected by Veer's death and the events that unfolded, took it upon himself to continue Veer's legacy. He established a special unit within the Delhi police dedicated to investigating extremist activities, a unit that would tirelessly work to safeguard the fragile peace of the young nation. Meanwhile, the trial had a significant impact on Indian politics. The exposure of the Hindu nationalists' plot fueled a national debate on religious extremism and its dangers. The government, shaken by the revelation of foreign involvement, tightened its security measures and vowed to crack down on any attempts to destabilize the nation. The assassination also had a profound effect on the global stage. World leaders, who had hailed Gandhi as a beacon of peace, expressed outrage at the conspiracy. His death served as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the importance of nonviolent resistance in the face of hatred. But the most profound impact was felt within the Indian people themselves. Gandhi's death, though a tragedy, became a catalyst for national introspection. Indians, from all walks of life, re-examined his message of nonviolence, tolerance, and unity. His ideals, once taken for granted, now held a renewed significance. The specter of the assassination, however, continued to linger. There were whispers of loose ends, of missing pieces to the puzzle. Some believed that the disgruntled British official was merely a pawn, a scapegoat for a larger, more powerful force. The identity of the wealthy Indian industrialists remained shrouded in secrecy, their motives unclear. Years later, a historian named Dr. Malhotra stumbled upon a trove of classified documents during his research on the Indian independence movement. These documents, hidden away in the archives of a defunct British intelligence agency, revealed a startling truth. The agency, fearing the rise of a socialist India under Gandhi's leadership, had played a more active role in the conspiracy than previously known. They had not only provided financial backing to the Hindu nationalists, but had also facilitated the smuggling of weapons and the planning of the assassination. The revelation sent shockwaves through the academic community and the Indian government alike. It reignited the debate surrounding Gandhi's death, casting a shadow on the historical narrative. Dr. Malhotra's findings were met with both skepticism and outrage. Some dismissed them as mere speculation, while others demanded a full-blown investigation. The Indian government, hesitant to reopen old wounds, opted for a middle ground. They acknowledged the newly discovered documents but downplayed their significance. They maintained that the core elements of the conspiracy, the involvement of Hindu nationalists and disgruntled officials, remained unchanged. Despite the controversy, Dr. Malhotra's discovery served as a stark reminder of the complex forces at play during India's independence struggle. It highlighted the lengths to which powerful entities would go to maintain their interests, even if it meant resorting to violence and manipulation. The story of Gandhi's assassination, though seemingly resolved, remains a cautionary tale. It reminds us that the fight for peace is a constant struggle, an ongoing battle against the forces of hatred and division. Gandhi's legacy, however, continues to inspire millions across the globe. His message of nonviolent resistance, though challenged, remains a powerful testament to the enduring human spirit. There you have it, folks. The story of Gandhi's assassination, a complex web of extremism, foreign influence, and a fight for a nation's soul. Gandhi's death may have been a tragedy, but his legacy of nonviolence continues to inspire. What are your thoughts on the case? Were all the players exposed? Leave a comment below and let's discuss. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Classic Crime Stories for more true tales of history's darkest deeds. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.